Welcome to the 1 Minute Apologist. We interview the world's leading apologists to provide credible answers to curious questions.
You contend that atheists are stealing from God. What exactly are they stealing?
They're stealing from God to make their case. The book goes through an acronym, CRIMES. The C stands for causality. Bobby, why is there cause and effect? Why is the universe so orderly if there is no God, if there is no mind out there that orders all this? Why are the natural laws and forces so precise and consistent? Because there's a mind behind them. So when atheists, ironically, are using cause and effect to try and disprove God, they're actually stealing from God to argue against Him. The R is reason. And they're saying they're the reasonable ones, Bobby, but if their worldview is true, if they're just molecules in motion and we're just molecules in motion, there is no immaterial realm, how does reason exist? It doesn't. We're just reacting. We're not reasoning. We're nothing but moist robots. So ironically, atheists who claim to be beacons of reason have made reason impossible by their worldview of materialism. The I stands for information and intentionality. Information is the idea that there is a message, and when there's a message, it always comes from a mind. Well, the greatest message that's ever been discovered is in the human genome. It's 3.5 billion letters long, Bobby. It's the longest word ever discovered. And they're saying that that message doesn't come from a mind? That information doesn't come from a mind? How so? They write books filled with information, claiming that information doesn't have to come from a mind. I wonder why I should understand their books or take their books then if information doesn't come from a mind. Intentionality has to do with the idea that the world is goal-directed. Why does an acorn always become an oak tree? Why doesn't it become an elm tree or a starfish or a seahorse? Because it's goal-directed to become an oak tree. Why do the planets go around the sun in such an orderly way? Because they're goal-directed to. You say, well, Frank, that's because of gravity. Yeah, but why is gravity doing what it does? If you go back far enough, you're ultimately going to arrive at an uncaused, first cause, sustaining creator who holds all this together. The M stands for morality, and quite frankly, there can't be any objective right or wrong unless God exists. So when atheists are saying that they have certain moral rights, they're actually stealing from God to say that He doesn't exist, or while they're saying He doesn't exist. The E stands for evil. They're saying there's too much evil in the world. Well, there can't be evil unless there's good, and there can't be good unless God exists, not in an objective sense anyway. So when atheists are complaining about evil, they're actually proving God exists, because God, by definition, is the ultimate standard of good. So they're stealing from God in order to argue against Him. And finally, the S is science. The atheists are saying, well, we're the champions of science. Science is impossible if atheism is true. Why? Because if materialistic atheism is true and we're just moist robots, then we can't really know anything about the real world. We can't depend on the cause and effect nature of reality because there is no mind behind it. We have no warrant to believe anything we learn from science if atheism is true. You know what makes science possible? God. So when they're doing science, they're actually stealing from God in order to argue against Him. Now, obviously, there's a lot more detail in the book, and I may have said things that aren't totally connected because we're doing this in, what? Is this a 3-minute apologist? Whatever.
Today's a 3-minute one.
Yeah, but stealing from God, why atheists need God to make their case, goes through all the details.